Oh, look at that. The little mesh part gives you a nice look at my receding hairline. What up, Twitter world? It's your boy CMGZ back up in it. Welcome to the second channel. We're doing a little commentary video today. A little bit of a Reddit moment. It's currently 1:30 in the morning as I'm recording this. So I'm trying to be a little quiet. I'm gonna do some quieter memes. Not gonna be some screaming at the top of my lungs. We're going a little off the wall. We're going a little unscripted today, but that's cool. That's fine. It's fire. It's bars. So we got the Avatar hat on today. We're rocking the Avatar beanie right now. That's totally not an excuse to hide my disgusting, disheveled haircut. If you guys sub to the main channel, you may or may not have seen I posted a short talking about the Avatar leaks from a couple months back. And now we're gonna talk about them in a big video. I promised in the short that I would talk about them in a full video on the second channel if anybody wanted to see it. Some of you wanted to see it. I was probably gonna make it anyways because I need an excuse to talk about it because I can't be streaming right now. Soon the streams will be back. Hey guys, it's me, Adam Sandler. We're talking about the Avatar leaks today. So if you're not aware somehow, the Earth Avatar after Korra, the new Earth Avatar series has been leaked. There's been plot synopsis got leaked. There was some concept art. There was some storyboards. And the big thing we're going to talk about is the plot. I'm not going to show you guys like the concept art or the storyboards. You can find them relatively easily if you know where to look. I cannot direct you towards that location legally, but if you know where to look, you can find them pretty easily. Is my point. Oh, by the way. Paramount, Viacom, Nickelodeon, whoever's in charge of the copyright system over there. If you strike this video down, I'll pee on your father. Fuck you. Oh, by the way, this is just spoiler warning in case you don't want to be like spoiled for this show. If assuming all of this stuff makes it in, and I'm also like 5% sure this is real. I think there's like a 5% chance that this is somehow like an elaborate fake. There's some credence, there's some evidence to suggest how real this actually is, but I think there's maybe a 5% chance this is somehow fake. That's not the point. Anyways, let's actually get into it. So this is your spoiler warning. If you don't want to be spoiled, don't watch the rest of this. Fucking idiot. So, our new Earth Avatar is a little girl named Pavi. I'm assuming that's how that's pronounced. So that's the new Avatar. That's her name. She is an amputee. She has no leg. She's missing a leg. She's on dialysis. She's missing a leg. That was a little Jeff Dunham reference for you. Shout out Jeff Dunham. She's got a robot. She's got one of them sick robot legs. It's kind of cool, honestly. The big twist, if you will, the whole twist around this new Avatar is that she has a twin sister. We're doing the twin thing again. We just did twins with Roku, with Avatar Roku in the Roku novel that I haven't read, and now we're doing it again. Except this time there's a little bit of a twist. So Pavi has a twin sister named Nisha, apparently. At least I think that's how you pronounce that. I'm a white man. And the premise is essentially that Pavi is abandoned and homeless, but the White Lotus thinks that the sister is the Avatar, so they take the sister and start training her. So they start training this Nisha. Pavi gets abandoned, thinking that only Nisha's the Avatar. However, the big twist is that both of them are the Avatar. We're doing twin avatars. Now, not only is this something that I predicted like years ago, roll the clip. For years now, I have had the idea of twin avatars. How this would work depends on how they want to handle it, because there's a lot of different ways that they could do it, right? They can have it so one twin has Rava and is the Avatar, so their sibling has no powers and they both have to kind of grow up coping with that.
I'm an earthbender. I'm not.
They could have it so Rava is like shared between them, so they have to share the Avatar powers, like, oh, I get earth and fire today, you get water and air, something like that. I don't know. Maybe they could have like a Wonder Twins thing going on where they have to like be together to be in the Avatar state or something like that, you know what I mean? I think my favorite idea though is another thing that comes from Korra season 2. At the end of that season, Vaatu is destroyed and is now regrowing for 10,000 years inside of Rava. But with twin avatars, they can take advantage of this idea where one of the twins gets Rava, the other one gets Vaatu, and is the Dark Avatar. We have two siblings that are now mortal enemies in theory. The twist would be that they should be mortal enemies, but they try not to because they're brothers, but that would obviously play into the conflict of whatever the fucking story is that they're telling. It's one of those things where it's like, I said it back then, like a couple years back, and I thought, oh, this is a cool idea, this is a good idea. Yet the more I think about it, like the more I hate it. You know what I mean? Because it's like, there's just so many hoops you gotta jump through to kind of make this idea work. And I will be getting into the explanation for why it's probably how they're probably going to make it work shortly, but it's a little too complicated for its own good, and I'm like, I don't know how big of a fan I am of that. Plus, I think one of the biggest issues with it as like a premise is that Korra Book 2 received a lot of hate for, you know, the way it handled the whole Rava Vatu Avatar Origins thing. That whole thing, you know, that's a lot of people are 50-50 on it, or like the fan base in general is 50-50 on it. Some people like it, don't mind it. Some people absolutely despise it. And one of the reasons why people do despise it is because they think that it's like based on you know, Western Christianity, like, you know, it's a good versus evil God Satan thing. And I feel like if they're gonna go that hard in this direction, they're probably gonna run into similar criticisms. There's no way it's gonna be like, you know. There's no way anything regarding this series is going to be civil whatsoever, just so you guys are aware. So, like, I feel like as a premise, this is just not going to go over very well. It's like, oh, they're doing the evil Avatar again. It's like, I don't know if that's the vibe. So getting into, like, the explanation of how this is probably going to work, given that the Roku novel just established a precedent for how twin avatars actually work, which is that one of them's the Avatar, and then the other one's just normal. You know, the Avatar spirit can only reincarnate into one person. The way I'm 99% sure about this theory, by the way, so you can come back to this, and I've been consistent with this for a long time, but you can come back to this and when the show eventually comes out in fucking 2084 and be like, oh, this guy was right, he's baller, he's ballin', he's faded, gaming. So the way this is probably going to work is, if you remember back to Korra Book 2, it's stated that if either Rava or Vatu are ever destroyed, the one that gets destroyed is going to regrow inside of the one that didn't get destroyed. So, like, you know, for example, end of Book 2, perfect example. When Korra defeats Vatu, he disappears, but because he got defeated, he got eliminated into fucking spirit dust. He's gonna come back. He's going to eventually regrow within Rava, and then, you know, 10,000 years later, they're probably going to do this whole song and dance again. But because that's the case, because there is now two spirits inside of Korra, the current, or I guess, not the current, I guess in this case, she would not be the current Avatar, but for the sake of argument, there's two spirits now in the current Avatar. So, when she dies and reincarnates, there are now two spirits involved. So two spirits are going to reincarnate into two different people. So when Korra dies, Rava and Vatu split off. They both get reincarnated into people, just so happening to be twins. I'm sure there's a logical reason for that. But yeah, I guess, you know, they're doing evil, you know, dark Avatar again. I mean, I don't know. I don't know that I'm a fan of that, but I think if they handle it well within the story itself, it'll be fine. But I think based on the plot synopsis that we got, I mean, it's probably going to be like a very simple story, in the sense that, like, okay, it's not really about good and evil per se. It's more about nature versus nurture, I would think, because, like, okay, you know, the evil sister gets raised as the Avatar or whatever, while the other one gets cast aside because nobody thinks she's worth anything. And then she's gonna come back and be like, I'm also the Avatar, bitch, and then they're gonna, like, fucking duke it out or whatever. You know the type beat I'm getting at. It's gonna be like, okay, the underdog with no training is gonna come up and beat the elite trained thing. You know, it's kind of like a Goku Vegeta type beat.
Yes, Vegeta. Final.
But that's that. Rip the band-aid off of that one. Let's get into some of the other lore, the new lore. So apparently, the four nations, as we know them, keyword there is as we know them, are no more. Apparently, there's some kind of cataclysmic event that threatens the entire world that Avatar Korra is faced to stop, and in order to stop it, she is forced to reshape the entire world. There are now 7 havens across the world instead of 4 nations, and so there's supposedly some sort of wasteland, like some spirit wasteland in between them. I don't know how that's gonna work. You know, now I think the thing to point out here is that the wording is very vague here, and a lot of people are really jumping to conclusions about what this actually means. Like, for example, the article that first broke these leaks is claiming, like,
if Korra reshapes the entire world, that makes her the most powerful known Avatar in the entire lore.
It's like, you're kind of jumping the gun there, I think. Because I think when they say reshaped the entire world, I don't think they mean that, like, 100% literally. Like, maybe a little bit literally, but, like, not 100% literally. Like, I don't think Korra's running around earthbending the entire planet and, like, shaping the continents. I don't think that's gonna happen. That's just too absurd, in my opinion. If that does happen, you better offer up a crazy good explanation, because I'm not a fan of that. But the wording is very specific, because all that is said is that there is that Korra is trying to stop a cataclysmic event, and in doing so, reshapes the world. That can mean a million different things. It could be some like spirit shenanigans, and in like fighting some sort of spirit thing, or like trying to stop some sort of spirit related thing is what causes the whole world to be like reshaped, which I think could be a better explanation than like the prior one. Like, okay, spirit portal opened up. What if something bad happens with that spirit portal? She's got to stop it, and then she doesn't stop it, and then it kills her, and then it reshapes the entire planet, metaphorically and literally. So what I think this actually means is that not that Korra literally reshapes the world physically, is that it, like, her actions had an effect on the planet, good or bad, whatever those may be. Now I have seen a few theories floating around that it could have something to do with Sozin's comet, like maybe Sozin's comet like goes off course or something, or like some sort of villain tries to pull, like, you know, bends Sozin's comet somehow and like pulls it towards the earth, so Sozin's comet's now gonna crash into the earth. This is very jumbled, no script thoughts. This is why I should not be doing unscripted videos, just so you guys are aware. I'm stupid and not intelligent. I don't know. There's a lot of ways they could handle it. I think this is one of those things where it's like you kind of got to reserve full judgment for when we actually know what's going to happen. Now, that being said, I don't mean to be the defending Korra guy again, because I really just do not want to be that guy. But you just know that no matter what the context is, Korra is going to get so much shit for this, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter if she's like actively being altruistic and trying to save the entire planet. People are still going to be like, oh, she fucking sucks and she did it on purpose. Fuck you. And it's like, dude, let's relax. Like, I've legitimately already seen tweets where people are like,
yeah, she's kind of the worst Avatar. She destroyed the entire Four Nations. Not very poggers.
It's like, dude, we don't even know the context yet. You want to relax? You know what I mean? Like, listen, if the show comes out and she was like, yeah, you know what? Fuck the planet. It's like, all right, fair criticism. But we don't know what happens yet. So like, let's relax. I'm skipping over some of the minor stuff. Like, apparently there's like an airbending guy who's like the airbending teacher for the new Avatar. There's like, they have like Cheshire cat looking things for their animal guides. I guess is the political term. The political term? I don't know. It's political. Well, fellow Americans, I'm gay. But lastly, this is kind of a minor thing, but supposedly the setting is also very futuristic. Like, people who have seen the final animation, which apparently exists and has been done since July of 2024. People who have seen the early edits reported seeing hoverboards or like something like that. Now, this could be a lot of things. That could be, you know, the spirit technology. It could be airbending. They aren't very descriptive with what they actually saw. You know, if it's airbending, cool. I'm cool with that. If it's spirit technology, I like might be cool with that. Depends on how crazy they get with it. Like, because, you know, obviously, The Legend of Korra set a precedent for how spirit shit works, right? And you know, if enough time has passed, if there's enough reason for it, if it makes sense in the lore for there to be spirit technology now, it's like, all right, I'm cool with that. Sure, why not? I'm down with that. But I think, you know, to leave us all off, leave us on a hopeful note, some hopium. We're gonna huff some hopium real quick. Is that if they are gonna do a futuristic setting, I kind of like how that comes full circle. Because if you don't know, the original pitch for Avatar was it wasn't supposed to be like, you know, ancient Chinese type beat. It was actually supposed to be very futuristic. Aang was like a robot or something like that, or he's like a little robot man. He's like a little bald robot man. He's very future mode. He went future mode. He went. I'm thinking future mode right now. I feel like we're probably going to see a lot of those early ideas implemented into this new series, depending on how far they go with the futuristic stuff. I don't know what the time jump's going to be. It's kind of ambiguous what that's going to be, but you know, we'll see how a lot of this stuff goes down. A lot of it does sound kind of like, all right, what are we doing here, guys? Like, let's. But I think because there's no context, I think it's one of those things where it's like we should probably wait for the thing to actually come out before we judge it fully. Yeah, that's definitely the approach I'm taking to this. Like, I'm skeptical about a lot of this stuff because, like, I read a lot of this stuff and I'm like, okay, I don't like that idea whatsoever on paper, but that's just it because it's on paper. Like, we don't know what it's going to be like in practice, so I think it's a little early to making full big opinions on it, but I know it's kind of the boring answer. You know, if I wanted to get views, I'd be like, this sucks, it stinks, it smells like poo-poo, it smelled poo-poo in the video, I smell poo-poo on the TV show, I smell poo-poo on the creators, I smell the poo-poo.
And then they eat the poo-poo.
That's it for this little unscripted type beat. This is very not good. I should, you know, I feel like if I do this more, I'll get back into the swing of it. I have notes here, and I'm not even really doing a good job at following the notes. So, you know, if you want more jarbled bullshit like this, subscribe to this channel. We do them live on the streams. It's pretty lit. I'll probably, maybe if you guys, let me know what you guys want. Let me know what topics you guys want me to cover. If I'm gonna keep doing commentary videos like this, I'm probably gonna do that for the Slop channel. I might, maybe not daily, but like definitely like. I feel like I could probably pump out weekly slop on this channel. You guys want to see some weekly slop? If you want to see some weekly slop, leave a comment below saying you want weekly slop. Let me know what topics you want me to cover. I know we're probably gonna do like current events, maybe YouTube drama. I don't want to be like a cringe drama YouTuber because I don't really care. But this is the Slop channel, so we're allowed to do slop bullshit on here. Anyways, that's it for this one. If you're sucking dick, make sure you're getting paid. I'm Audi 5000. Deuces.